For centuries, explorers crossed oceans, marched across deserts, and died in the wilderness chasing a dream, a kingdom of unimaginable wealth, hidden somewhere in the vast unknown lands of the Americas. This wasn't fiction. It was a mission ordered by kings, funded by empires. And it all began with the legend of Cíbola, the 7 cities of gold. The origin of the Cíbola legend traces back to the early 1500s, when Spain was rapidly expanding its empire in the New World. Conquistadors had already looted the Aztec and Inca empires. But rumors began to swirl of another prize, further north. A kingdom even richer than Tenochtitlan, cities paved in gold, temples encrusted with gems. The tale first surfaced from survivors of a doomed expedition, Cabeza de Vaca and Estebanico, a North African slave who traveled across modern-day Texas and northern Mexico. Estebanico spoke of hearing stories from native tribes about 7 grand cities to the north, whose walls glowed like the sun. The Spanish crown took notice. In 1539, Fray Marcos de Niza, a Franciscan friar, was sent to investigate. He claimed to see one of the golden cities from a distance, a place so brilliant it must have been made of treasure. He fled before entering, citing native hostility, but his glowing report set off one of the most ambitious treasure hunts in history. In 1540, the Viceroy of New Spain commissioned Francisco Vázquez de Coronado to lead an enormous expedition into the unknown northern frontier, what is now the American Southwest. Coronado marched with over 300 soldiers, hundreds of native allies, livestock, and priests, expecting to find an empire of gold. What he found instead was disappointment. The cities were real, but they weren't made of gold. Coronado reached Huicu, a Zuni pueblo in present-day New Mexico. The adobe structures may have reflected sunlight from afar, but there was no treasure, no golden idols, no jeweled palaces. Still, Coronado pressed on, chasing new rumors from native guides who may have misled him or tried to send him away. He ventured through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and even Kansas. But the gold was always just out of reach. After 2 years, Coronado returned to Mexico City, empty-handed, disgraced, and bankrupt. But the legend didn't die. Over the next 2 centuries, other expeditions kept the story alive. Some claimed that Coronado had missed the real cities, that they lay further east, or buried beneath later ruins. Others believed the wealth was real, but had been hidden by native tribes once they realized what the conquistadors were after. Modern historians and archaeologists generally agree that Cíbola was never a real place, but a myth born from cultural misunderstandings. The adobe pueblos, remarkable in their own right, were mistaken for gold-covered cities by those desperate to find another Inca or Aztec empire. Yet the allure of Cíbola remains. In the American Southwest, stories of buried native treasure persist. In remote canyons and cliff dwellings, amateur treasure hunters claim to have found symbols, hidden caves, or artifacts that hint at something greater. Some believe Cíbola was a metaphor, not for actual gold, but for spiritual wealth, lost knowledge, or sacred sites deliberately hidden from outsiders. Others still believe the gold is real, buried in the deserts of New Mexico or Arizona, far from the eyes of history. So what is Cíbola? A kingdom of gold? A series of misunderstood pueblos? A myth that drove men to madness? Maybe it was never about the gold at all, but about the dream of something greater, something just beyond reach. Thank you for watching Hidden Gold Files. Don't forget to subscribe for more lost empires, hidden treasures, and legends that shape the world.